This over here, this is the switchboard. And this row of switches over here, it controls the heaters. So the first one over here controls one of the heaters in the back. And I'm listening, I confirm that we can, that the heater works properly. I'm doing the same with this other switch over here. It controls the other heater in the back. Then this over here, the heater pump switch, it doesn't work by itself. What it does, you use it with when one of the heaters is on, or both, and it just sends more heat to the back. So that's basically what it is. Then over here, this row of knobs over here, this controls the defrost. The most important one is this one over here. So when I turn it on, it controls my defrost, and I can feel the defrost over here with my hands. So I confirm that my defrost works properly. The other switches are not as important. You can use it to recirculate the air or send more air to the defrost or the back of the bus or the driver or the passengers. But that's basically what it is. The most important one is definitely the defrost switch over here to control the defrost. This over here, that's just a 12 volt port over here. This over here, this is the switch to control the strobe light. And then I have to adjust my mirrors. I have 7 mirrors on the bus. I have to adjust all of them. So I adjust my student rear view mirror by hand. The flat mirrors and the convex mirrors, I adjust them with these 2 knobs over here. Those knobs over here, they are electric controls for my mirrors. So the knob to the left, I just move it this way, and it controls my flat mirror. Then the convex mirror also, when I turn the same knob to the right. Then when I'm done adjusting these mirrors, I do the same with the knob up to the right that controls my mirrors to my right. And that's basically it. Then the last 2 mirrors over here in front of the bus, we see the cross view mirrors. I adjusted them before I started my test, so I'm good to go with that. It's important to mention to the examiner that I did so. Then after that, I look over here. All these switches over here, those are for the dome lights. So that one over here controls the dome lights all the way to the back of the bus. The second switch controls the student dome lights to the left. The third switch controls the dome lights, the student dome lights to the right. And this dome light switch over here, that's for the driver dome light above me. Then over here, the blue switch over here, that's for my service door. So this controls my service door. We can see over here that it did. Then over here, that switch is there's a heating element to heat up my mirrors if needed when they're frozen or fogged up. So I just use that switch over here. This over here, this is the master switch for my 8-way flashing lights. So normally, if you drive students, you always leave this switch on like this in this position. This switch over here that is orange or amber looking, this is the switch for the warning lights, the amber flashing lights. And when I press it, we'll see that my amber flashing lights will come on. So we see it in the light monitor here. We see it over here. There is a light. We'll see it in the cross view mirrors. If I look through the cross view mirrors, I see that my amber lights are on. And we see also a light next to the switch that confirms that my amber flashing lights work properly. Then when I open the door with the blue switch, my amber flashing lights, my flashing lights will switch from amber to red. So that's what I will do right now. And what happens is that the stop sign is coming on. The student cross arm in front of the bus comes on as well. And then I will turn on my headlights over here with this switch, because I want to show the examiner that my stairway lights also come on when I do that. And then also my red flashing lights, I can see on the monitor here. I can see over here the light next to the switch, the red flashing light over here. And then if I look at my cross view mirrors, I also confirm that my red flashing lights work properly. And then when I close the door with my blue switch, everything comes off. My stop sign comes off, my student cross arm, my red lights come off, and the lights, the stairway lights also come off. Okay, I can take off the headlights for right now. Then over here there is a switch to my fan right over here. I can feel it, works properly. It is securely mounted, no missing nuts or bolts, and it's not cracked, bent, dented or damaged. And the switch that is right next to it in yellow, this is to suppress the noise. So if I come to a railroad track and the radio is playing, or the defrost or the heaters or this fan, I can press this switch to temporarily shut down the noise, so I'm not distracted when I cross the railroad track. Then when I'm done, I just, switch it back. So this, basically this for the switchboard. Now we will look at the dashboard. So over here, that's a switch that controls my headlights. Over here, the arm over here that controls my left turning signal, and also the right turning signal when I push it the other way. Then the latch over here, the silver latch, this is for the hazard lights. And when I press the arm to the right or to the left, then they just come off. Then over here I look at my speedometer. Over here I look at my temperature gauge. The temperature gauge should read between 180 degrees and 190 degrees Fahrenheit, not to exceed 220 Fahrenheit. Over here we have the air pressure gauges. They both should indicate approximately 120 psi. There are two gauges because we have two air tanks. Over here there is the odometer. Over here there is the voltmeter. The voltmeter should read between 12 and 14 volts. Then there is the transmission fluid temperature gauge. It should read between 130 and 190 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the tachometer for the RPMs. And there is no oil pressure gauge, but there is a light, there is a sensor, and if it's not at adequate level, which is between 40 and 60 psi, a light over here should come on the dashboard. The light is not on right now, so I know it's at adequate level. Over here there is the fuel gauge. It's at adequate level. Also, I need to check my horn. My horn works properly. My steering wheel has no more than 10 degrees of play. And then it's important also not to forget the wipers and the sprayer both. You need to hold it long enough to where the spray has a chance to spray, and you confirm with the examiner that the wipers and the sprayers both work properly. So this covers my switchboard and my dashboard, and now I am ready to take the air brake test.